adopt the agenda as presented.
Can I get a seconder? Discussion? All in favor? Adoption of minutes, 3.1 recommendation.
The council adopt the minutes of the regular council meeting held in December 2nd.
Can I get a seconder?
Second.
Discussion?
Couple of errors, so I would say approve with errors.
Which errors? Does she know?
All I told you.
She's been pointed out, she's
Yeah.
spelling error.
Weather
Oh,
belly.
you know those
Yeah.
things? Okay. All in favor? Introduction of late items, 8.5, and that is for stars, and that will be 8.5. 5, public hearing, none, delegation, 6.1, recommendation.
The council hear the delegation from Argo Road Maintenance via Zoom call, council request.
And I have a feeling,
Can I have a seconder?
I have a feeling they forgot.
Probably.
Because
They're a little busy right now, so highway, right?
They should be, yeah, I wonder if they're too busy out at the. Okay, well, how do you get this thing bigger?
There's Leor.
There you are, yeah. But they're not there.
Did they call you at all today?
No, I confirmed with Lynn yesterday.
Isn't this a repeat of the first meeting we had with them?
I was sick the first week.
Yeah, they're not there.
Well, we'll just move on.
I'll just leave it up there in case they happen to pop up.
Unfinished business, business arising from the minutes, none, new business, 8.1, recommendation.
The council approved administration proceed with the document shredding for December 2020 as presented in the attached list.
Can I get a seconder?
Second.
I do have a question. Do we want to shred accounts payable and that from 2013? Or should we keep them longer? There's two of them.
Isn't it?
Accounts payable and accounts receivable?
That's time, it's, because it's coming to 2021, so she made it 13 to that time, 2013.
Okay.
All in favor? Okay. 8.2, recommendation.
The council decided they would like to purchase 850 masks for the village to hand out to residents themselves.
Second. Discussion. Sure. I'm here.
It's too costly to me. And people, they already have their masks. I would say get less, and Councillor Hebert had a good idea where they get a coupon in their, with their water bill, and if they want to come collect a mask, they can redeem it instead.
I'm on a cat leaders program here.
13, page 13.
850 masks, ooh, $6,826 with the logo,
I'm fine.
almost $5,000.
It'll be a collector item.
So we have money that came in for COVID that we have to use for COVID, and that's where this would come out of.
Okay, but we also have on here, we're talking about putting,
We have $460,000
And that has to be used
for COVID. Can't be used for anything else.
I know, but we don't know what's coming down the line. That's just my 2 cents.
Money?
Yeah, exactly, like, even though people are getting vaccinated, I think that we're still gonna be
We can't hear you.
using our,
They can't hear you with your mask on.
we're in a public building. Anyway.
We're 6 feet apart.
I know. Where was I?
COVID, don't know where it's
Oh,
going.
yeah, COVID. Like, how much do we spend per month in the village office anyway on COVID supplies?
Nothing.
Maybe $100 or less.
Yeah,
We stocked up at the beginning, we haven't really had to,
But did we sort of, the money that we spent before we got the money
it
for
might,
COVID, did we go back and
I'm not
add
sure.
that money into what, do you know what I'm saying?
I would have
We
to
put
confer with
plexiglass
finance.
up here,
Yeah,
and you bought sanitizers and masks
yeah.
for us.
The plexiglass was $200 for the 2 sheets installed. We may have spent so far $1,000 on COVID, maybe.
The one for it. You can sell them and put ones in the people's water bills, that put coupons in people's water bills, and then sell the rest.
I'm against that many.
that's a lot.
And if they sell them?
Hmm?
If they sell them,
What are you gonna sell it for?
$5. That's what the going rate is for them. It's a keepsake. Once this is all over, it's a keepsake.
Keepsake for what? Like,
Well, people use t-shirts, people usually keep their tubes. Sandy?
We could reduce the order to half and see how well it goes over. And if it is a hit, then we could order some more if you want. It's just that council had asked for how much for all the residents. So that's what we did the code on.
Okay.
Yeah, because my thing is that wearing a mask is quite personal.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I prefer paper to cloth. And then there's your designer and there's so many various masks available and people have preference. And I would hate to have a bunch of masks go out to a lot of different families and then go, oh, I'm not really interested, and throw it to the side, and eventually things end up in the garbage.
You know, you guys, as far as I'm concerned, we're all circling around the same objective, but we're not seeing the same objective. We have to be good stewards of the money, obviously. Just because we have $400,000 doesn't mean that we have to spend $400,000. But $400,000 is there for us, for this community, for COVID purposes. So what are we doing as a community for COVID purposes? Right.
For the residents.
For the residents. So, and you're right, because this is gonna be a keepsake. You're right, this is personal, right? But what we're not doing is we're not bringing in the community here and taking advantage of what's here in the community for us, because we got $400,000 thanks to the government for COVID, and we could easily, right, bring out the young aspiring artists within the community, right, and say, hey, bring us your ideas, right? Design a mask, whether it's for the youth, for the seniors, for the adults, right? And we'll have a contest.
We have to have our logo on it.
When you put your logo on it, we can put Coos Scoopy in there somewhere, but you guys design it, bring it to us, let us judge it, and we'll provide it to the community. And it's not gonna cost us anything, and it's gonna be huge for the community.
When the vaccine becomes available for the everyday person, which is ourselves, will they, I imagine they will have a vaccination thing here in Coos Scoopy. Like, I sure hope they do. Well, they have had for the flu shots, they have had, you know what I mean? And the flu shots maybe haven't been here in the last few years, but the vaccine for COVID, everybody's gonna be having to want it.
Not necessarily.
Well, okay, you know what I'm saying?
If you have food allergies, you're not to take it.
But what I'm saying is, will we as a municipality assist with that?
But that $400,000 will not be used for that. The government will be paying for those vaccines to come up
I'm just,
I don't know, I think there's an opportunity to bring a ray of sunshine into a dismal.
I would like a contest just for COVID, for the kids to do a poster thing.
Let's do it.
You know,
Well, let's
what I
get
mean,
back to the
wear
masks
masks.
first. Let's get back to the masks first. You put a motion on the floor that we have some artists come forward with a design
Yeah.
for the seniors,
Yeah.
for the adults,
And
for the kids. No, I don't think we're getting kids ones.
We can, this is gonna add to your cost though,
Yeah.
you know that.
well, and I think there should be a prize for, you know, the ones chosen for the children, for the adults, for the seniors.
So what kind of prize do you?
We
Free
don't,
mask.
A gift certificate for Mandeep, like we never ever talk about Mandeep shop. You know, if it's a female that does the artist work well, maybe they can go there as a spa day. And the man, well, we can find something for them from Apex, I'm sure, for the man,
sure,
right?
yeah, like,
It's nice to keep it local.
what's,
Yeah, keep it
what's
local.
a dollar amount on that?
Well, a spa day would be probably $150, $200. Gotta cut your hair, get your eyebrows done, dyed, toenails painted, hands painted.
Okay.
That's, you know, maybe throw in a massage.
What if it's a guy that wins the award?
If he wants his haircut there and, or the guy prize can be through Apex, right? You know, we're all trying to promote these businesses out here.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't go to Apex, I don't know what they would have there for man, but maybe renters or something.
Always do pizza,
Yeah, or.
gift certificate to Papa Don's.
You could do a nice embroidered tablecloth from Charlotte's,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, constitutional.
Right? I'm just, yeah. So why don't we do that? But we can work on the prizes, but let's get a contest and a date by when we want something put in.
By the end of January?
I like it.
All in favor?
Somebody make a motion?
Oh,
That's my motion.
Ken made the motion.
Your motion is to have a contest for somebody to design a logo or picture for a seniors, children, and adult masks.
Open to residents of the community only.
Only.
Open to residents. Who's
And
could be
when is this
only
gonna be, end of February, end of?
deadline
And
for
again,
submissions. Our next meeting is January 20th.
Okay.
For January 20th, that way we can bring them all, or January 19th actually, so I have them all in.
And 3 prizes at approximately $200 for each.
Each prize.
Prizes.
Might be just one person that does everything, right? So we might only be spending $200.
So
Might be 3 different people.
are we going to,
So $200 prize for each category.
Yeah.
And then if we don't have each category, then you don't have to pay.
Right.
Okay, seconder.
Good idea. And Marlene, are you seconding it? I will, I'll second.
and it could be paid in Poos Koopy dollars so that it has to be used in Poos Koopy, redeemed by the village of Poos Koopy.
Marlene,
What,
your thoughts?
my thoughts? Are the prizes from the COVID money?
Yep.
Yeah?
Prizes would be wherever you decide.
Take it from, so yes, it could be out of the COVID money.
All of it's from COVID. So we can say we did this specifically out of the money that was given to us for COVID.
Sure. All in favor?
Okay.
Have they come up there yet?
No,
That's me. 8.3 recommendations?
Council consider putting plexiglass partitions between the council tables and the council approves spending $1,500 for plexiglass partitions.
I'm not,
Second.
discussion, I don't need something. I don't. I'm pretty sure I had COVID, I'm pretty sure I got the antibodies. Here's your 60.
I don't think it's, besides outside of work, you're my,
Bubble.
Bubble.
my bubble.
Right?
I think that face shields would do as well.
Yeah.
If it comes down to, we need something between us.
Okay,
Is that okay?
it's your choice. Okay, so,
It's a no. 8.4 recommendations.
The council decided they would like to continue with the SPCA cash pay neuter program, and if council wishes to continue, they set a budget amount for the year 2021.
Second.
Discussion?
It's a good program, but it was like pulling hen's teeth to get, from when we first initiated the program. And the communication with the SPCA is not something, okay.
no, I'll let you finish.
I struggle because the communication with the SPCA hasn't been consistent.
So when they started this program, they started trying to communicate with the local SPCA, meaning everybody here. We actually do not deal with the local SPCA for this anymore. We deal with the head office out of Vancouver. And the lady I deal with is Marieka, and she is the one who talks to DC Vet for us, makes sure that everything's in order, and she's the one that I've been able to get all the communication from.
Excellent.
So since I've been able to talk to her, we've actually had open lines of communication, and they talk to Sam, so.
All fair?
Budget for next year?
5,000, I think, same as last time. Same as last
And
time?
it's open, okay, I just want a definition of, so a resident has a cat, they want spayed or neutered, they reach out to the village office?
Nope.
No?
No, they go
reach out-
straight to the vet.
They go to the vet?
They have to call, there's a 1-800 number that we put out for them. They don't contact the SPCA here at all, it's all done through Vancouver. They call the 1-800 number, the 1-800 number sets it all up, they take their animal into the vet, it's done. They just pay the $20 admission fee or whatever it is, and then the rest of it's taken care of.
Wonderful.
Do we have any money left over from last year
Money from,
for this?
I'm not sure.
Well, isn't this 2021?
This is for next year.
But
So-
we also have money left over.
Do we get that money back, or is that gone?
No, no,
No, we used it. The last $5,000, we used it.
So,
it's all right here. It amounted to each animal to be fixed was approximately $151, which was far cheaper than what you can do it if you're just going in on your own as a resident.
Okay, everybody's satisfied? 9.1 recommendation,
8.5?
or 8.5, stars. Stars.
I don't know what the motion is, this for information?
Can I get a second?
Second. What's the motion?
this is a motion to make a donation to STARS. And I was reading through it, and I want to take your attention to page 5. Now, let's look at STARS from two different perspectives. One is from the industrial perspective. From industry perspective, STARS is invaluable. Okay? We're working out in remote work sites. The ability to have STARS come, which we have had, respond to a work site is life-saving. It's truly fantastic. we're seeing more and more where STARS is becoming, involved, whether it's in highway collisions,
Air
or,
ambulance.
or ambulance, yeah.
Air ambulance is what my concern is, because they are now, if you read there, they are taking and transporting people from the hospital.
And then that's because their helicopters are equipped with all the,
Doctors, nurses, you name it, on medication.
And the weather and the,
yes, and they can, and I believe they have the capability of flying at night, which if you ask our local, representative for medical helicopter, I believe, I don't wanna mention their names, but I believe they don't have that ability to fly at nighttime or in bad weather.
But even the time to get a medevac up here, right? People could sit and lay there for
through
days and days.
experience, that is that, when Pam was born,
Yeah.
yes.
So,
This is such a worthwhile thing. I know Tumbler Ridge has used it,
Okay.
and
well, it says
I'm
it's down.
100% behind this.
Well, let's look at page 5 and look at how much their funding has been reduced. You see the red arrows going down?
Page 5?
Yeah, but the top little circles, and then you're gonna go down a little ways, and there's some arrows.
Turn to page, it would be 7, I guess. It's this page right here, Peace River Regional District. They've made a contribution of $510,000 over 3 years. So that's $170,000 a year. This is one of those things that I'm just going to put it out there that as a community in support and not setting a precedence, but in these rough times, looking at a 3-year plan, I'd like to give them $10,000 a year.
I'll second that.
You know, I think that if that was your family member or your young son out on the rigs hurt, you just want him to get to a hospital. And maybe that's something, if we're gonna be given $10,000, we're gonna have to look on the cost and that for the ambulance or the first aid that our fire department, would we not want to use the money for STARS more? I'm just throwing it out there, it's discussion. But I think STARS is wonderful.
I don't think we're touching the fire hall budget.
No, this would be just a
Well, we're not doing
non-precedent setting
ambulance. Well, I get what
donation.
I'm saying,
We are
this
medical. We're doing medical law.
And please, if we do this, non-precedent setting, because I don't want 3 years down the road saying, well, we gave them 10,000 a year for the last 3 years, we're obligated to give them. This is to help get them through the rough time.
Okay, maybe that should be added to the motion.
So that's your motion.
Yep.
To give them 10,000
For
a
3
year
years.
for 3 years, and then what was the rest of the motion?
But not to be precedent setting.
For future after the 3 years.
Yeah.
It'll be the previous, next council's decision.
That's big money, guys. You know,
Give
no.
them 10,000
All in favor?
a year for 3 years, and
Thank you.
then what was the rest of the motion?
Anybody see any correspondence?
9.1, please.
Okay, go ahead.
The council received the reports from the ACO bylaw officer for information. Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
What is our protocol for a derelict house? Because in there, he said the water line broke at a derelict house.
Look up on 48th Street, drive up there and find the
Okay,
address.
but I would like to know what the protocol is for when a property is deemed derelict. Do we have a protocol that when they are pronounced derelict, that we proceed with making sure the water is shut off. Because what is happening, then the water freezes and breaks at night, our staff have to come in at time and a half. Is that fair for the taxpayers? Because, you know what I mean, I'm just saying if we had a process or a procedure, if, well, what I'm saying is if we have a procedure, I don't know if we have one, a protocol that the minute a property is pronounced derelict, that we put things in place so that water lines don't get broke or in cold weather because nobody's in the house, like, and if it's derelict, do we still pick up the garbage or charge them for the this is, it's just a protocol that I'm asking for.
Vernon?
Is it derelict or unoccupied?
It was
No, it's
water
derelict.
leaking from derelict property on 48,000.
It's condemned house on 48.
It's condemned?
It's condemned.
How long has it been condemned?
I'm not sure. Probably a while now,
How come the water wasn't shut off?
because they were still going in there and cleaning it up, trying to clean it up and get back in there.
Okay, but shouldn't we have some kind of protocol?
That if it gets to a certain point in
If,
the year
and,
that
and if we,
But we don't always know that how the buildings are empty, like.
no, but if we can call it a derelict property, then it's obvious our public works has looked at the building or our bylaw officer to give it that label.
Sandy, who deems it? It's the building inspector, right?
No, but
I can't answer for sure, I'd have to read the bylaw.
could call it
I can ask the bylaw officer how he deems it derelict.
Okay, can we table this till you have discussed this with him?
Okay.
Thank
The UBCM one, has anybody read that one, 9.2 recommendation?
The council received a letter from UBCM regarding convention schedule as information.
The bylaw
Discussion.
officer, how he deems
So has
it.
everybody read that?
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
I think we should be doing the same thing, the organizations of FCM, NCLGA, UBCM. Because I feel that if the regional districts are already paying for it, right, they're already paying for their share. And Fort St. John's paying their share, we're paying our share, Tumblr's paying their share. That's a whole whack of chunk of money that's coming out of the flippin' north.
It's a big chunk.
Yeah, so maybe we should look into this, Sandy?
Could I make a suggestion that we send the UBCM a letter on our behalf asking what is the benefit to us as a large, so far north? Do you know what I'm trying to say, Lorraine? Like,
What's the
all-
benefit to being a member?
Yeah,
So
at this
far-
time.
Well, because in 2015, UBCM signed a letter stating on our behalf that they would be, how do I word that they would be talking on our behalf. I never signed the letter. Nobody signed the letter. The
And-
UBCM was speaking
What's
on
the
our
benefit to being a member?
And we didn't get to
Or-
speak to
or-
any ministers, not one.
No, and so, and
And
really
that's
the
the-
speed dating is just, it just becomes too much. So I think I'd rather spend the money, jump on a plane and go down there and have a meeting with an actual minister. And take the half an hour, 45 minutes or whatever hour out, than having the every 10-minute speed dating.
But it'd be nice to send UBCM a letter
Oh,
stating
yeah,
why.
We'll do that as well.
Is,
So is this two separate letters then, or?
No, just ignore that one. I just saw UBCM, so.
That's, all in favor?
Okay. Anything else? Oh, this prescription's part of that was yours. That was your.
So is this
9.4.
two separate letters then, or?
Isn't that contraceptive? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's medication, right?
Oh.
They're trying to get free contraceptives because there kinda no free drugs, right? They have marijuana sites, or, injection sites, so, and people are still having to pay for their contraceptives, right?
Or feminine hygiene products, you know what I mean, and that they tax,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yes, They're trying to get free contraceptives. So, should we write a letter of support for that?
Yes. Motion,
Motion to send a letter of support for the,
second.
Second.
all in favor? Okay. Recommendations. Anything else? So we can bury the agenda? Oh, and we would like to wish the RCMP a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
So there's gonna be no discussion on 9.6? Nobody wants to
No.
listen? Okay, we can bypass it, or?
No, if you wanna know.
No.
Yeah, we can bypass it, because we're just gonna talk about
I'm
it.
just gonna leave.
Yeah, no, we're gonna just bury the agenda for that stuff.
Okay.
Resolution, none, bylaws, none, administration reports, CAO report, none, action items. And how's that bylaw going on those fireworks and?
Oh,
My apologies, I have not been able to get to it because of everything else that's been going on. I will try.
late night the other night? Is that it?
Well, it's just,
Twice.
and then people bitching online, and it's the same people that are bitching, and, I mean, yeah, okay, you've got concerns, but nobody bothers to phone the village. They get online, they start bitching. That's
Was it
about
about
My
what?
apologies, I
Huh?
have not been
About
able
what?
to get to
Oh,
it.
fireworks the other
But
night.
I brought it up in council several times.
Oh, and so we, like, we got a bylaw here happening, right?
Yeah.
But, like, they just get online and start bitching. Just phone the frickin' village, is all I ask.
The fireworks aren't being set in village.
Yes.
Yes, this was
Yes.
set in the village properties the other night, at 11:30
I could sit
at
on my
night.
couch and watch them.
Yeah, I stood on my deck and watched them, cause I was having some fun with my.
Some people enjoy them, some don't.
But at midnight, at 2 in the morning, and the animals, it really bothers the animals. And some dogs bust out of there, if they're outside.
All I ever asked was if you're gonna have fireworks, to contact the people in your area. It's called consideration. Contact them, let them know at 8 o'clock at night, no later, that I'm setting off fireworks, and they can be prepared. And if we're gonna have 6 or 7 groups of people letting off fireworks, pull your money together and buy your own flippin' fireworks together, so that the fire department knows that you're having fireworks. It's just common courtesy, giving people the knowledge that they're letting them off, right? That's all I ask, and I've stated that several times on posts, and
Do other communities not have the same issue?
They ban
some ban them, some.
Vancouver has no
Yeah,
fireworks.
But Revelstoke, in the summertime, like there's certain times of the year they allow it, sometimes they don't, right? Sometimes of the year they don't.
But even if we ban it, we're not gonna stop it.
No.
No, but it's just consideration for your neighbors. And I think they should be fined if they shoot them off after 8 o'clock. You know, they can start it at 8, say till 9, and then after 9 o'clock, they're fined. They get a heavy duty fine. It's crazy. There's the kids.
Especially
and
when
stuff.
you're right next door to fireworks going on.
It's not right, it's not fair. So make sure when you do that bylaw, Sandy, that there's a time limit on it, please. Thank you. Anybody has anything else to say about it? Okay. Anything else, guys? Special projects? Capital special projects?
Gravel, I guess, at the post
I think
office.
she's gonna put that in her.
Oh,
We're just gonna do it in the
Okay.
report.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get a call from the housing needs assessment? I know I did.
Yes.
Did you recommend people? Cause I did.
I did
recommend
too.
Sue could.
I was on there for half an hour. And she had the.
I invited them to come to council.
Pardon?
I invited them to come to council.
The needs assessment people that were already on here? So we're gonna be zooming in again?
It wouldn't be her, she was from Saskatchewan.
I had the guy Tom phone me. And then
Tom
he
or
told him
Matt?
who to phone, huh? Or Matt?
Tom or Matt? I don't know, it's Matt Thompson.
Oh, then it'd be Matt then.
He's on paternity leave till January now.
Oh, that's why the girl was filming it. But I got her, told him to phone all around, phone both businesses, phone secret, phone all that. Trying to help.
Bottom line is we wanted more, I wanted more investigation, I want more of a reach to find out what we need, like 6 people is not what we.
Maternity leave till January now.
Okay, good. And then, where are we now? Councilors' calendars. There's nothing out because it's Christmas. Councillor White is absent tonight. Councillor Smith.
Actually, yeah, I have nothing.
Councillor Hebert.
Well, the museum, they held a selfies with Santa. I haven't spoken to Les since before he had his gathering. So I don't know how it went over, but I didn't know that it was held.
They posted a picture of 2 people in front of the Santa with their heads together. They had masks on, but they were 2 adults, and I had a problem with that.
Well,
Because they don't want social events, and there's 2 adults, like, I'm just voicing my concern.
Were they not from the same bubble?
yes.
I don't know
They
who
had
they
to be
were,
in the
I
same-
don't know who they were.
They had to be in the same bubble. They had to be the same household.
To go in there.
Yeah.
It was by appointment,
Yeah,
yeah. And then there was cleaning in between of the doorknobs and so on and so forth. The post office. I went over there and I would like to see pea-size gravel,
3/8.
3/8.
3/8?
That's what you said.
Well, you be careful what you order, pea gravel is different than 3/8 gravel, but
I want 3/8.
3/8 half
Right,
inch.
half inch.
equivalent to what's in the back parking lot to the staff.
We want gravel back there because, over there, because it's just a super.
And slick.
So what do you think for gravel?
That's what you said.
You're the man of the party.
Yeah, gravel.
It all depends what's going on, is it mostly big trucks going on it, or is it small vehicles?
Small vehicles, but it
Foot
just,
traffic?
Weighted vehicles, because they're bringing in parcels and
the cube vans, right?
Yeah, and taking them out.
Yeah, I wouldn't go smaller than a half inch.
Half inch.
Half inch.
Half inch.
Okay.
Half inch
Yeah.
gravel?
Pardon?
Half inch gravel?
Yeah, and a
Yes.
box truck, Kim?
Yeah.
And do you think if we phone notes, you could possibly do it?
I believe you would talk to her or Joe, and something could be done.
We'll do that tomorrow.
Half inch gravel?
Thank
Half
you.
inch gravel?
And that was all in favor, right? Press button by gravel.
Oh, yes.
How about a motion?
Oh, I'd like to make a motion by, half-inch gravel and
And who's seconding?
And I'll
it?
second it.
okay.
Thank you.
We're not saying how much, it's just to get the job done, right?
Get the job
Yeah,
done. It'll be
get the job.
700 and some bucks probably. So my report is, can we, oh, Ken.
How about a motion?
Last week, last council meeting, I was supposed to bring up a request for a donation for the Kiwanis Club. And,
This one's bad, right?
yeah. And if you're thinking, how do I know the Kiwanis Club locally? I think the big,
July 1st.
July 1st, you got, how about the trade show and those? That's put on, and the Kiwanis Club is the big beneficiary of that. And so there's been no money coming in to the Kiwanis Club. What does the Kiwanis Club do? Their organization is focused on the kids.
Yeah, they send kids out to paper and things like that when they need, if parents don't have the money, and they're really good.
Yeah, they have been good in the area, but like many worthwhile organizations, they're hurting. And it was requested for the last council meeting that I bring it up and ask if you guys would be interested in.
Well, we donated
Little
a couple
Christmas
years
cheer.
ago. We donated to them a couple years ago, $500. Is that what you want? Oh, 70?
So I just have to let you know, the council's discretionary budget is over budget right now.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
But in a month's time, would it be 2021?
Yeah.
But
So as long as,
we also have a special, what's that other budget,
that's your discretionary fund.
no, there's another one.
So I just have
For
to.
slush fund?
No, it's for when we do our Canada Day and all that.
Our events fund,
Yeah. Can we take that away?
I would have to, I'm not sure.
Yeah. So
We
as
have
long-
money in with that budget. You can find the $500 out of that budget somewhere.
that's your discretionary.
Right.
Are you guys okay with that?
All in favor?
Our events.
I need a seconder.
I'll second that.
Other than that,
I'm not sure.
it's, I hope we reschedule the meeting with, our roads contractor, Argo.
Yeah.
Because there are some questions to ask with them.
Well, maybe we should just write them down
And submit them.
and
I need a
Sandy can do an email to them.
Other than that. I could do that.
Yeah.
I could put some concerns in a letter and send it to Sandy.
Okay. And my concern is our corner out here and this hill. Those are my concerns.
And Jack's Corner.
Yeah.
Did you see the other day somebody spilled their load of water?
Yesterday, yeah. I followed it home.
Just to finish up, I'd like to thank council for an incredible 2020. It's been quite the year for the staff who've worked diligently for the benefit of this community. You guys rock. And you know, I think our community is something really special. And I really want to wish each and every resident a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's hope 2020 is a special year.
2021.
Sorry?
We'll do that.
Okay. And don't drink and drive over the holiday season.
Thank you.
Oh, one more thing. The 12 days of Christmas, my true love gave to me, right? I bet you I'm the only one in BC, maybe, that has 3 French hens.
Okay. So, I'm asking for another donation, for Mandy.
One more thing.
because, the museum has their sleigh over there, that Gary and Barb Fondall made. It's such a beautiful display that they did. So I'm asking council for $200. Any discussions on that? All in favor? Okay, and then I went around with Councilor Hebert and we did the light up. To leave this up here.
No, go ahead.
So for number 1 is Carolyn Jack Clark.
Are we gonna do names? Okay.
Number 2 is Karina and Dave Bunker. And number 3 is Ian Stewart. And so we did talk about the bylaws for the fireworks. And I had my picture in front of the candy cane tree here. And Ken Drover did as well, and that will be in the newspaper, the Christmas newspaper that the mayor is putting on. And then I took the, Tom, the photographer, over to the museum, and I had my picture with my Uncle Wes in front of Santa. So that also will be in the paper. And that's all I have to say. And from council to the residents,